I just need to know how to get from here to there.
Yeah, we all working on that. But, sure you sure.
All right, here we go.
You probably already
What
chosen to
happens when
do
you
it.
don't show for 4 months?
Yeah.
Welcome to Lights in the Night, the show that's exploring the unknown,
Right.
one light at a time. I'm Russell.
And I'm Max. We're talking UFOs, alien life, and the mysteries of the cosmos.
Is anyone out there? Tonight, we're looking for answers.
Join us if you dare. The lights are on, and the night is calling.
Lights in the Night. It's time to shine a light on the darkness.
Well, welcome to Lights in the Night. Hi, I'm Russ Johnson, and Max is my friend here.
Hi.
She's going to be the co-author, co-anchor, if you will. And we have some guests. We have Frank. He's written a number of books on this, and he's planning on writing others. And then we have Dawn. Data. Data. Yeah. So thank you very much for being here on the program.
Thanks, Pat.
Listen, we started this 15 years ago with Freddie and me, when we just backed off, but now is the time. There are more programs on aliens and disclosure, congressional hearings. It's absolutely exploding. And as I listened to Elizabeth April, if you don't know her, you might want to punch it up, or Bashar, you might want to punch him up. You want to find out all these people who really got a lot of information to give us, and we need to participate in all of this. Frank, thank you very much for being on the program.
Thanks for having. It's a pleasure.
We're going to ask you about your book in a minute. So, Max, any questions you want to ask?
I have so many questions.
Well, go right ahead.
But I haven't gotten a chance to read any of your books yet, but I'm so excited. And you talk a lot about it, from what I've read, about science and faith, and as well as the extraterrestrial. So, how does that all combine to create your stories? And
Well, you can't have science without faith.
that makes sense, for sure.
God is part of science, and you can't have science without faith. And God made the universe, and God made everything. And the extraterrestrials are part of that too. So that's how everything comes together.
So what do we need to know?
What do you need to know?
They say...
We are not alone.
Okay.
We have never been alone.
How do you think the person who doesn't understand, Dana, any of this, how do you think they handle things as you interface with a lot of people? How do you?
I think that most of the population is fearful because they've been taught to be fearful. And I think the fear comes from certain indoctrination and programming. I'll just leave it vague, but also Hollywood, our movies have been created to make us fearful of anything that is outside of us. So that's a general feel. But I believe that there are enough of us who not only have experienced that sort of contact or firsthand, and have the belief, but there are enough of us that are now willing to say something about it. And I'm so glad when you opened, you mentioned Elizabeth April, and you mentioned Bashar, and in Gaia, right? Yeah, the ancient aliens. My husband and my relationship was built on Friday nights, me going to his place and watching Ancient Aliens, and he thought I was out of my mind. But there's so many of these things that people who are fearful and not willing to believe initially, because what's happening on Earth is becoming so chaotic, and they're looking for something to believe, and there's holes being created in the belief systems they already have. I believe they're a little bit more open. So the balance is tipping.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that's my feel on the whole
Well,
thing.
Steven Spielberg started it with Close Encounters,
They sure did.
which was partially based on what really happened.
Well, let's talk about that. What really happened? What did he base that motion picture
Well,
off of?
he was contracted by the federal government to do a documentary about an encounter. And at the last minute, the government came in and said, no, you can't do that. So he went and took that and fictionalized it, and you ended up with Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which was based on an actual encounter that happened.
But the encounter initially was telepathic. Like he was seeing the thing and he was making it out of the mashed potatoes. It was telepathic.
Right.
But I think people don't realize, everybody thinks that you get beamed up and you get probed.
No.
But there's this telepathic communication and interaction that is happening more often than not.
Yeah, not everybody, like you said, not everybody gets beamed up and probed and scoped and whatever they think they are. There's sometimes you just get intuition, I guess you would say it. Sometimes you're just told.
You're just told.
You're just told.
So do your books involve any of this sort of storytelling, truthful storytelling?
Yes. Yes, all my books are truthful storytelling. Everything I write, whether it's a detective series or science fiction, I release the truth in fiction because it's easily to digest a fiction book if you mask it in truth.
Yes.
Now, my book that's going into, I've got a manuscript that's going to be going in the final edit this year. It's called the Jicarilla Incident. Jicarilla is the Apache Reservation in Dulce, New Mexico,
Yeah.
which is up near the Colorado border. The Acholuto mountain range there has a base in it. And there is an underground base in Dulce, Mexico. But there is more than one underground base in the world. So,
Right. The one in Dulce this has a malevolent bent to it. Talk about that a bit.
yeah, the one in Dulce, there was some heavy-duty fighting going on there. So, underground. I fictionalize it in the book, so I don't make it as.
Keep it
I don't
quiet.
really cover the fight. I do a little bit, but I progress beyond the fight. We win the fight and it keeps going. But there's more than one underground base in the world.
Oh, absolutely. All over
Okay.
the world.
And a lot of times you'll see on the news when people say, "Oh, I heard this moan, we don't know what it is. Oh, I heard this sound, we don't know what it is. The moan is coming in." That's them tunneling underground. We have tunnel machines that are you would not believe would just tunnel everywhere. I mean, Bradshaw Ranch is another one.
Wow.
You know Bradshaw Ranch.
Right.
Yeah. Skinwalker Ranch was involved.
He's a billionaire.
So what are they doing down there?
We're doing down there.
Oh, okay.
That's our
yeah,
stuff.
I got it.
They've
I
gone
missed
from
Got
all
it.
That's
the
our. That's.
Got it.
Why do you think they created a space force?
Yeah.
This is all going to come out, and my book sort of describes what's going on, and includes the Palladians that are underneath Antarctica, have been there for 20 or 30,000 years, and includes the reptilians that are part of our society, which they shapeshift, so you don't know who they are. But every once in a while, if you look in the right places, you'll see a video of someone who's a reptilian because their eyes shift. And you'll see the reptile eye.
Cool.
Yeah.
So they're there.
Yeah,
And there's more than one. There is more than one extraterrestrial race here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of extraterrestrials in
Yeah,
the universe,
yeah.
in the vastness of the universe.
Palladians are, there's two from Palladia, from the Palladian constellation. You've got the reptilians from another place, insectoids live underground, you've got bad people living underground. The grays are the short, tiny ones you see on the all the sci-fi views with the big eyes and they're real short. Those are called the grays.
So the information they cover. Tell us about your experiences with extraterrestrials. Or
So my experience, like I said, nobody
Right.
got beamed up or probed, but I've always had interest, And I definitely see the psychic stuff, the intuitive stuff. It overlaps. People want to take angelic stuff and psychic stuff and ET stuff and separate it, and it's all overlapped. So I've always had the interest, but in the last decade or so, I've had a lot of encounters in my dream state. I was mentioning earlier before we were on camera that I've had assists with, first of all, I've astral traveled in my dream state. And so again, it's not really clear in my memory, but I'm going to these different places and I could feel energetically the difference in the beings that I'm interacting with. But I had some health issues a few years ago and was actually assisted in my dream state with my health with a certain race of ETs, and I'll say it because I'm already out there. Like I already can't ever work in this town again based on these conversations. But I also had a mushroom experience a few years back that I had a direct interaction with a certain race of beings that assisted me with my sacral chakra energetically, like assisting.
Well, it's good you remember. Most people can't remember because they block your memory.
They block you, yeah.
And so the last estimate I had, and just in the United States alone, 8 million people have been abducted, but none of whom can remember much of anything, and they still have doubts and fears. Do you have any experiences about being abducted? Okay.
I've had dream states where I've encountered different things, but never that I've been physically taken anywhere.
No, Max, why are you interested in this subject matter? I'm just curious.
I am just, well, like we were talking before the show about how some people who are skeptical about, I don't think there's other beings, but how can you, I don't know, how can you believe there aren't around? It just feels, something is always, I've felt it my whole life. I've always been fascinated with the stars, and I was in a car accident when I was a kid, and I came close to dying, and I think that there is something else that happened there that is the reason I'm still here today, because I flatlined. They had to do the.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
How old were you?
7.
Wow. So you don't remember crossing over and seeing the light or any of that?
No, I don't. But what happened was my dad was a doctor at the hospital we went to, and my mom. So my mom wasn't there. It was me and my 2 sisters and my dad were all in the car, and. For some reason, they sent a police car to pick her up at her house because her whole family had just been in this horrible accident. And so she was in the front seat, and it was one of the cop cars that doesn't have the barrier thing. I don't know. And she remembers looking back and seeing me. And I have a memory of sitting in the back of that car. And so there's just something I've always known that I think it's part spiritual and part extraterrestrial. I think it's all related, and I can't tell you exactly how, but I feel it in my bones.
Yeah, I had a dream state where I died.
Oh, yeah?
And Jesus came to me and says, "It's not your time."
A lot of people have gone through that.
And I get the intuition stuff. I write in my books, I write stuff that happens later on in life. So that's me.
Yeah. So that's good. So everybody has had some kind of nudge about there were possibilities of different entities among us.
Yeah.
When I talked, have you listened to Elizabeth April?
Oh yeah.
Right. Okay. All the time.
She's awesome, actually.
Well, tell us about her.
So
Got
Elizabeth,
another minute before we take a break here. Go ahead.
Elizabeth April is she is a channel. She remote views. She astral travels. She channels the from the Galactic Federation. And if you're not into this sort of stuff, it sounds really, really weird.
No, that's all right.
But she is a starseed. She is here. She's her soul is from another constellation or whatever, from another place, and she's here to assist humanity, and she's doing it by being a liaison and sharing this information. And I'm into this stuff, so I see a lot of wackos out there, a lot of people that think they know what they're talking about and they don't. and she is on point. She knows her stuff. And Bashar is another one where he channels.
Let's talk about Bashar.
Yeah, so Darryl Anka
Yeah.
channels Bashar, and Bashar evidently is a hybrid entity of like half gray and half human. And I'm watching the clock as well. Should we take a break and like I don't want to.
Well,
Okay, we'll see if anybody tells us. I just don't want to keep talking if we're not supposed to. So he channels this version of us in the future. Again, it's a little confusing.
Right.
But the information that he channels is brilliant. It is helpful. It is insightful. And that's what I'm saying. When these people come through, when they're not peddling fear, they're actually peddling intelligent, helpful information to assist us in our evolution.
Right.
Then it's time to just stop and listen.
Well, he's been doing it about 40 years.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do this. Let me take a break, and when we come back, and we can talk about some other entities, some other people who are doing a lot of work disclosing this, in addition to the congressional hearings with David Grush and Lou Alexander and all that. We come back and talk about that in just a moment.
Got legal questions? We've got answers, from family matters to business needs. Get access to a dedicated lawyer, 24/7 for one low monthly fee.
Helped me navigate a tough situation. I felt protected and informed every step of the way.
Don't face life's challenges alone. Get Legal Shield today.
We're back, and the night is getting darker.
The lights are still on, and the truth is waiting. Stick with us.
More mysteries, more lights in the night.
All right, back again, Lights of the Night, and we have several guests. We have, of course, this young lady here. Max always talking about the aliens and other entities in the universe, and she's representative of them. And then, of course, we have Frank. He's written a book. He's going to write another book about this, one coming up. And Dana, I'm sorry.
You'll get it.
Yeah, Dana, I got it. Dana, we were talking about some of your experiences and some of the people that have come to you with additional information. Let's talk about that for a bit.
Yeah, so I was talking about, Darryl Anka and Elizabeth April, but I have some friends that are brilliant channels, and one of them specifically, her name is Anne Marie, and she channels Palladians. She channels all energies that come through the angelic realms. So it's really, really incredible. But I brought a book. I don't have it with me, of course. I don't know what I was thinking. It's on the table over there. She wrote a book called Project Aura, Exchanges with the Astral. And Aura is her guide, her Palladian guide, that has been just talking to her intuitively and telepathically and assisting her. And the book is all these channeled messages and her experience with figuring out she was a channel, coming to grips with it, trying to live a normal life with this extraordinary gift. And she wrote a couple other books like yours, more fantasy, but kind of like slipping the medicine in with the sugar. You know what I mean?
You gotta add the honey in with the medicine.
Yeah. So she's written those books as well. But the Project Aura is actual direct communication from these extraterrestrial guides. But Anne Marie is of the Palladians.
Is that right?
She made a choice, right? We talked about earlier contracts. She made a choice to come to this planet to assist humanity in its development, and with her guides assisting her, all extraterrestrial.
But guess what? Everyone on planet Earth, 9 billion of us, have chosen to come here for this time called disclosure.
Yes.
And everything will be disclosed. Everything that's hidden will come to the light of day, And so that's going to be what's going to happen in the next 3 or 4 years. And as a matter of fact, Did you get any feedback in terms of listening to Daryl or Elizabeth April or George Norrie or any of those people when the aliens are going to come and show themselves with us, like War of the Worlds, like
What are the world's like? I think it's going to start later this year,
is that right?
little at a time.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you caught any congressional hearings, Lou Alexander
Yeah,
or David Grush?
Greer and the rest of them, yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So it's coming to the fore.
Yeah. Daryl Inca or Bashar.
Yeah,
whoever,
right.
You know, it predicts 2027. But
Okay.
everything is so fluid
But it's
because it's
coming.
really about it's here, right?
Yeah.
It's really about our readiness. You know what I mean? And I think disclosure is more in dribbles. Like nobody's landed on the White House lawn. You know what I mean? It's coming in dribbles. So, or maybe they are. Oh my God, one can only hope, right?
Well, there was a flyover over Washington D.C. A number, dozens and dozens of UFOs flew over Washington, the Capitol, in 1952. 3 weekends in a row, July of 1952. Wow. If everybody can punch that up and do the research on that, it was in the front page of the Washington Post and all of that. So yeah, and then of course, Los Angeles, 1942. I mean, it's so much history that we've been denied. Let me
Roswell.
Roswell. Let's talk about Roswell just a bit.
Roswell.
Just a
That
bit.
was a crashed UFO.
1947.
1947.
Right.
And there's been one. Even Russia has their own. Even Russia has their own Roswell.
Right.
So, yeah.
So it's a
We
lot of
covered it up. It
history.
was not a. Yeah, they are. Yeah, it's a weather balloon. No, not a weather balloon.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
It's my understanding that there's more craft encounters or people seeing them around nuclear sites because they're assisting in keeping us from blowing ourselves up because
they're shutting them down.
That is a safe assumption, right?
Yeah, they're shutting them down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been doing that for years now.
Yeah.
If you want to know a little bit about that history for people who have
They're also around missile sites.
Yeah, right. Stephen Greer, he's been researching this since 1993, and he has his website out there, Disclosure Project, and he's got a lot of information on his website. I think he got 10,000 pages on it, or goes on and on. He's really accomplished person, very prolific.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's super credible. Super credible. Yeah.
So he has a lot of information. And then I would say Billy Carson is good in terms about the Anunnaki. You talked about the
Anunnaki. That was the Canadians.
Yeah, the people who came in 400,000 or 500,000 years ago. So Billy Carson would be a website I would suggest that people go to and listen to what he has to say.
And the pyramids were just nothing but the power generating stations.
Okay.
They were not tubes.
Right.
And Elizabeth April, circling back to her, if you really want to hear her explanation of the birth of our civilization, like the true birth, the Anunnaki, and how we were developed. She does this whole thing. She's got them on TikTok, YouTube, and I remember watching them. She's got them in parts, and it was the only thing of the history of our species that made sense to me. It's really powerful stuff, so that's worth the watch.
So you keeping up with it, this stuff?
Oh, I drove here just to see you. This is my jam. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, see, I'm suggesting that the people who are doing this kind of research and have this kind of interest and knowledge, that everybody get your podcast one day, and like Joe Rogan and all the rest of them.
But the knowledge is out there.
Yeah, and it's coming. The more of us who do this kind of stuff,
to research on your computer, you can find all this information.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything exists. It's there. Right.
Max, any questions? Anything you want to ask of these people who?
Well, so when we finally do get an extraterrestrial on the show, what do you two think we should ask?
I think he'll tell you what to ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that if you were to get an extraterrestrial on the show, they are here only to assist. And so the question is, what can we do as humanity to evolve? And I can guarantee you the answer, I'll answer for them. I guarantee the answer will be something along the lines of, live in joy, live in love, be kind to yourself,
Okay.
really enjoy this experience and respect one another. It's all about, because then there's that spiritual, like it kind of overlaps with the spiritual component. That is the answer, and that is how Earth evolves. That's how we raise our vibration and become more evolved species. That's would be my guess.
Yeah, I think the focus is going to be on Christ consciousness.
Well, that's
You're right. But
that's
as
exactly
you
what I'm
just said,
saying. Yeah.
Right.
Unity consciousness, Christ consciousness, living in the joy, being in love, all of that.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you were to look at some of the pictures that came from Mars, and there's one particular picture that comes from Mars which shows Earth, and that should just tell you what the heck's going on, because here you're looking from Mars and you're looking at a spot in the sky that's Earth.
Yeah, that
And
James.
if you still think you're that self-centered that we're the only things around in the world, that the universe revolves around Earth, then you're crazy.
Yeah, the James Webb
Don't sugarcoat
telescope that they sent out there has found at least 500 planets since it's been out there.
Yeah.
In addition to all the billions of planets and trillions of planets out there anyway. So it's a vast universe, and it's still growing from what I understand.
And
Yeah.
interdimensional.
Right.
Interdimensional. There's so many dimensions, and so we think so. I think we use in a linear fashion. You know what I mean? Again, they come down, they probe us, but there's this interdimensional. There's disincarnate ETs that are able to, because it's energetic, are able to interact, assist us, be a part of.
The Native American people knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? They called them skinwalkers.
Yeah.
Yep.
The
Yep.
Dogon tribe, the Dogon people.
Dogon tribe.
Yeah.
In the Middle East, they called jinn.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier about Adam Bird. Let's talk about that story so people who want to do some research and have some physical evidence that they can research on. Let's talk about the Adam Bird story.
Oh, I mean the Lockheed guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the back in the 50s and 60s. He was the CEO of Lockheed, and he was in charge of the Skunk Works, where all these SR-71 and all these advanced fighters are built in the United States. Are built in the Lockheed Skunk Works, and that's top secret black ops money that nobody knows. That's why toilets cost $5,000, because part of that money goes to Skunk Works. They interviewed him on 60 Minutes after he retired. And one of the questions that they asked him is, they said, has the United States back engineered anything from alien technology? And his answer was, I can't tell you, that's classified.
Oh.
But what I can tell you, now this is 1963, we have the technology to send ET home.
And then you can look at all the motion pictures that Steven Spielberg has done. What about 18 Men in Black, E.T. Go Home, and all that. He's had a lot of information. As a matter of fact, now he's getting ready to produce a new film in the next 6
He's gonna
months.
come up with another
In the next 6 months it'll be out.
sci-fi thing.
Yeah, no, it's sci-fi. But much of it's just truth.
Because he
But
was
anyway,
given the information. He was given the information by the United States government to do a documentary about that.
right,
And they quashed it. That's when he came out with Third Kind,
right.
Close Encounters.
I think it's about time that we wrap it up. Anything you want to say before we wrap up? We only got 1 minute, 15 seconds or so.
I just want to say thank you for
Thanks for
having
having
me.
it. Thanks for letting us tell everybody what's going on.
And your book will be out when?
My new detective book will be coming out in a couple of months, I guess. That's called Silence is a Witness. That's just a straight detective book. But my Hickorella incident book goes into edit in about a month or so. So
And
it
you have
takes
a-
around a year before that comes out.
Okay, you have a show too.
And I have a show twice a month called Center Stage. We did our show earlier today in homage of Rose Warner, and
Okay.
we put people in center stage.
I
and they
gotta
do
wrap
them
it up.
Every other
How do
Max,
people find your books?
Amazon.
Great.
Frank Agafolo, Amazon, or or email.
So next
Contact me
week,
directly, Frank
same
Agafolo
time,
at gmail.com.
same place. We'll be right here on Lights in the Night, and you can find it on YouTube and also
And I
Facebook.
will give Russell a new book.
And thank you
when it
very
comes
much
out.
for listening. And any questions, give us a call. Lights in the Night for you. Thanks. Bye-bye.
The lights are fading, but the mystery remains.
Join us next time on Lights in the Night. Same time, same darkness.
Until then, keep looking up.
The night is watching.
Lights in the night, where the unknown illuminates.